Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Meriwether County Board of Commissioners meeting, January 10th, 2024, 9 a.m. I'll call the meeting to order. If you have any cell phones or electronic devices, please silence those for the duration of the meeting. If you will, please stand for the invitation given by Mr. Jonathan Porter of Greenville Baptist Church, followed by the pledge to the flag.
Let's pray together. Father God, we count it a privilege just to come into your presence this morning to seek your guidance in so many things. Father, we are reminded this morning of how grateful we are for so many things, one of which is to live in a free country that allows us still to call upon you whenever we need you, whenever we seek your intervention. Father, we are thankful today for your watch care over our citizens in the past storm that came through. We pray for those citizens, Father, who have been adversely impacted, and pray, God, that you would continue to work through other citizens in this county to help one another out. Father, we thank you for the beauty of this place in which we live. And as we come together today, Father, to go over the business side of things, I pray, God, that you would give to these commissioners the wisdom that they need. Your word tells us when we lack wisdom, all we have to do is ask, and you give to all of us generously. So, Father, give to us the wisdom that we need to continue to govern this beautiful county that we call home, and allow, Father, us to continue to move forward, to be the people and to be the place that you've always intended for us to be. We ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Next item on the agenda is to adopt the agenda. Is there anything that needs to be added?
I would only say at the beginning, we got the appointments, and I don't really think it's necessary to do the appointments for the administrator, assistant administrator, clerk and all for special appointments.
So we just need
I just take those two off.
Here and then I have a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Have a motion, have a second. Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. Next item is the appointment of the chair. I'll open that up.
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Brian Threadgill, chairman.
Have a motion, do we have a second? Hearing none, motion failed. It's on the floor.
Make a motion to appoint Dean chair.
Have a motion, do we have a second? Second. Motion and a second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is appoint vice chair.
I'll make a motion for Commissioner Ward to be vice chairman.
Have a motion, do we have a second? Second. Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries, opposed? All right, it's yours, Jim. All switch places.
All right, next on the agenda is to appoint the county clerk.
Let's make a motion to appoint Beverly Thomas.
Have a second.
Second.
You second. I've got a motion by Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner Ward, all in favor? That's on the list, is appoint the deputy clerk.
Make a motion to appoint Allison Stevens. Second.
Second. Commissioner Gray made a motion. Commissioner Worsley, the second, all in favor? And appointment the county attorney.
Make a motion to appoint the law firm of Glover and Davis. Second.
Greg made the motion, Commissioner Worsley, second, all in favor? Great, go ahead and keep them on board, okay? Next, we go to presentations, discussion of property lease at the Red Oak Bridge.
This Cherry Thomas had asked to be here this morning to talk about this. This is the property we've talked about for a long time, but where there's a picnic table going up to the, old covered bridge. But I don't see Ms. Thomas this morning, so I would say we just, wait till she contacts us again, or I'll contact her. So really,
So we want to table it, we'll just wait till we.
yeah, just,
And I made a mistake. I thought that was you, but you're further down. Like,
he wants to talk about it too.
All right, and then we have no presentation.
No presentation.
Okay. Mr. John, finance report, sir.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. In front of you got the bank balances as of this morning. The general fund's almost at $6 million. All the other funds are holding steady. We're in a good financial state overall. We did receive the December loss, SPLOS and T-SPLOS payments. Those are listed there. The tipping fees and hosting fees, we're hoping to receive next week. If I don't receive them, I'll reach out to the appropriate vendor and see about where the checks are. On the second sheet, Vice Chairman Worsley asked that I would create something with the SPLOS and T-SPLOS so we can see what the balances are and what we have committed. It should be ledger, not letter. That was a typo on my mistake. But in the SPLOS, after all the commitments, the cash and bank is almost $600,000 with the investment pool. The commitments with the jail roof, the courthouse, and the remaining of the LB roads for 2023. We have a negative balance of 122,415.60 to spend, which we get an allocation every month. So that's, we're good on that. SPLOS is going to be self-maintained. T-SPLOS, we have about 2.7 in the bank. You got Thompson Trunking with 37,000 committed, Buell and Evans 1.5, which leaves about 1.2 that we can spend in T-SPLOS. And the only thing I would like to add, as of yesterday at the end of the day, the revenue that was accounted for so far has been 10.7 million out of the $18 million budget. So we've only had about $4 million in expenses up current to date. Most of that is due to, we're at 90% of our budgeted tax revenue collected at 7.3 million out of a budget of 8.1 million. That was due to Kemp's homestead exemption tax, which encouraged the citizens to pay taxes because he paid half in the state. So overall financially, we're in very good shape.
Makers having questions for finance?
John, I do have one. The balances on the SPLOST and T-SPLOST, do they include the December
Yes.
deposits? Okay.
The only thing that you may say is a slight difference in them, and I use the ledger because that includes any checks that are outstanding from Woodbury, any of the cities that receive SPLOST and T-SPLOST. So you'll see a small discrepancy from the bank balance and the ledger balance, and that's due to those checks being not cashed yet.
Thank you for that. It helps, we go to commit, but we don't overcommit. So
Yes, sir.
at least it helps me be able to see better and clearer what we're doing with those funds.
All right, if there's nothing else on finance report, is there any department heads today to speak?
We don't have any department heads here to speak, but I would like to update the commissioners on one specific department. Animal control, y'all approved the acceptance of the new van. Just wanted to share with you guys that it has already been put to use. They've already taken animals to Auburn for spray and neuter. They've done 4 PetSmart events and have adopted 32 animals out of that van. So thank y'all for approving that last time.
And one more thing, Mr. Chairman, I forgot to mention in your packet also, there's a list of all the banks we do business with in Meriwether County, who they're listed out with and who the signers on the accounts. It's myself, the interim administrator there engaged, the chairman and the vice chair of the board.
and we do need to change that.
Yes, sir. I'll get the resolutions.
Ms. Bennett, do we have to invite somebody to citizens' comments?
No, sir, we do not.
Move on. Next on the agenda is the December 26, 2023, 6 p.m. regular meeting minutes. Everybody had a chance to look over the minutes and say any change need to be done or something, maybe in separate minutes.
Motion to approve.
You have a motion?
Second.
Second. Commissioner Craig Gill made a motion, Worthy, second. All in favor? This is public hearing. Do we have a public hearing?
No, sure. No items today. We'll have several at your evening meeting.
Next on the agenda is appointments. First on the agenda is the BCCG legislative coordinator to fill an appointment that will expire 1/1/2024 with a 1-year term. If I would like to do that, if not, as Greg Gill said before, you can the chairman does, I'm glad to take that position.
Make a motion to appoint Gene King. Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Collins, second by Wardley, all in favor? Second one, defects, to fill a vacant term that will expire on 6/30/2024. District one, defects, to fill a vacant term that will expire on 6/30/2024. We have somebody. What's that?
It's gonna be your district.
Oh, that's, okay, I saw the index, the budget for the two, so I thought I was reading on. Okay, so both of them.
Well, you got number two, the defects to fill the vacant term.
Oh.
Somebody left and left the term vacant, and that's when it will expire. Yes, sir.
All right, at this time, I do not have anyone for District One, but if any of the commissioners have somebody that they would like to have on from their district, I would be glad to entertain that, or I'll table it till next week. Motion to table.
I'll make a motion to table it to the next meeting.
Adam made a motion, Tom second, all in favor to table that? Third one, there, Deco Development Authority to fill a term that will expire on 1/9/2024, four-year term from District Two. Ms. Rosa Quinn.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to, nominate Wanda Sams to fill this position.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Plant for Wanda Sims, and second by Commissioner Worsley, all in favor? Thank you. For voting, I think she'll do a great job. Number four, Planning Commission to fill an unexpired term ending on 1/5/2025, District 4.
I don't have anyone at this point, so I would like to make a motion to table.
Second.
Got a motion, Greg Gill, second by Worsley, to table that. All in favor? Thanks, sir. Number five, Public Facilities Authority to fill a term that will expire on 12/31/2023.
I make a motion to table if no one has anyone.
I'll second.
Mr. Greg Gill, second by Rosa Plant, all in favor? Six, Water and Sewage Authority to fill a vacant term that will expire on 12/31/2024, District 4.
Make a motion to nominate Bill Rollins. I've known him my entire life. I think he'll do a good job on that.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor? So unfinished business, anything under unfinished business we need to cover? Then we'll move on to the new business. Adopt a resolution to the Meriwether County Joint Comprehensive Plan 2023-2043.
Yes, sir. Commissioners, you'll remember that last year, we in the cities worked on our joint comprehensive plan. Part of the DCA process is for all the cities to sign off on it. We recently completed that last week, maybe week before last. And what's coming before you today is a resolution to adopt the approved joint comprehensive plan. I have a copy of it here. It's also on the website. Unless you guys have any other questions about it, we just kindly ask for a resolution to adopt the Meriwether County Joint Comprehensive Plan 2023 to 2043.
We have a motion to
Make a motion to adopt the resolution.
second.
Do we need to read that publicly?
Okay, I got it.
I'll make a motion.
You made a
We got a
motion.
motion by Commissioner Dodd, seconded by Commissioner Brady, all in favor? Number two,
Thank you.
low trade purchase confirmation.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, this was a low board that we had budgeted. We had been looking for one. We found one that was a good price and a good shape. And so we had contacted the board members because this was about to be sold to someone else. So we contacted the board members about going ahead and moving forward, purchasing this. I think it was like $36,000. And we're just back on the agenda today for the purchase. So,
So we just need to move forward, and make a motion to accept the
Right.
purchase of the lower.
right.
Got a motion to accept the purchase of the lower.
So moved.
Got a motion and a second.
Second.
We got a second, by Commissioner Collins, all in favor? Hey, y'all want to look at it, it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
We've been looking for one. So we found one a week earlier, but it was about $15,000 more than
That
what it
would
was.
help us from having to rely on, before grading stuff to help.
Yeah, yes, Crawford Grading has been moving it for us, and the one we have is dangerous. You know, we could surplus it, make somewhat a good farm trailer, but it doesn't need to be on the road.
All right, then we'll move right on to number 3, request to close the covered bridge road for filming February 5th, 2024 through February 27th, 2024.
And we have a gentleman here to speak to us about this, speak to the board.
Mr. Gilbert, if you'd step up to the podium, please.
Good morning. My name's Corey Gilbert. I'm a location scout and manager for film and TV productions here in the state of Georgia. And I'm working with a production, Broad Lake Productions, working to film a TV series called Cedar Lodge. And earlier this year, we scouted and looked at the covered bridge over at Red Oak and fell in love with it like a couple of other productions have in the past. And we're hoping to possibly film there February 20th. The lead up for that would be, we'd like to possibly have about 2 weeks of setup and prep, kind of get all our equipment, lights, everything ready for filming. And then we would ask to have about a week afterwards to about the 27th to clean up, strike, get everything out and make sure it's to y'all's liking and to all the neighbors nearby, make sure they're happy with how everything went. And so we've started talking to some of the neighbors. So far, everybody has been real receptive to the filming. And we're hoping to have all of those folks contacted and in the loop within about the next week or two. So.
And those of you that live in that area, it won't affect them coming and going, it's just a through traffic.
Yes, sir. So we, I don't know if it's been included in y'all's packet. If not, I have printouts of overheads and traffic control plans. It is, okay. Basically, we're asking for two, on Cover Bridge Road, 2 hard closures. Right there at Dan Stribling and going north up to the first driveway, I think it's 1996 Cover Bridge Road. And the residents will be able to come and go. Further back outside those hard closures, we're asking for kind of a soft closure, kind of close to through traffic. And that will actually go from Hugh Brown to Dan Stribling, as well as all the way up to Flat Shoals. So yes, sir, residents will be able to come and go, but they will also have communication through us. We'll probably have dash placards so that any security or police officers that are working with us will have kind of a quick reference to let them through.
Hopefully our local law enforcement.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
I came here not too long ago and I went by and I saw Coweta, which I like Coweta. But I thought if we're going to be having officers in the county, we need our officers making that extra money.
To that point, I've seen productions do that before. And if I'm going to be in the community, if I'm going to be in the neighborhood, I want to make sure that any dollars spent are here with the people that are here. So yes, if approved, we will be getting with y'all's sheriff's department and working that out.
We talked about, I'm just gonna say, we talked about security. You're probably gonna look at 24-hour security.
Yes, sir.
But everything that's set up. So that would work well. There is one property owner, Ms. Thomas, who was going to speak earlier today not on this matter. May have to make some accommodations for her property is actually within that hard close zone.
Yes, sir.
I don't think she visits very often. It's a vacant piece of property, but
This is Miss Thomas.
right.
I've already spoken with
Good.
Miss Thomas, and she is on board for everything we're wanting to do.
Fantastic.
Spoke to her about 3 or 4 days ago, and she
Good.
seems pretty happy.
I
Thank you.
do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
The barriers that are in place to keep oversized vehicles going through the covered bridge.
Yes.
Will those remain in place?
I am actually, our production wants to keep those in place. There was initial talks about removing it for sight line of the camera, but we want to keep those in
Let's
place.
caution this group. This is on the National Register now.
Yes,
And problems that we had where the bridge was almost taken down was because one of those was removed for a previous movie company.
yes,
That was not put back up. And in my mind, this is too important of a structure to Meriwether County that, I mean, it's a very valuable resource that we have. And my vote would be do not remove those barriers for that reason, because we need to protect it at all costs.
yes, ma'am.
And I'm just going to go on record with that statement that, and unfortunately, there's already a Facebook post out there where 3 dump trucks went through it. I can't imagine that that's true. And with that being said, I mean, there's no way it should have been,
Sure.
but I don't want a misunderstanding out there, especially when it comes to Facebook, that we would allow something like that.
Okay. No, we,
And I'm not personally up to you or anything. I just want to make sure that the general public knows that we're doing everything we can to protect the covered bridge.
yes, ma'am. To your point, like I said, originally we were kind of considering the idea because of our camera angle. But after we kind of started reviewing, after we kind of got the history and the structural weight capacities and everything for the bridge, we, as a production, we changed our shot angles to specifically make sure that we don't have to remove that. So actually, in a weird way, it helps us logistically as well. So it's to not just our benefit, y'all's benefit, everybody's benefit, that those do stay in place.
Good.
So-
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
And having been part of the previous work on that, I just want to make sure it's understood clearly
Yes, ma'am.
going into it.
And also, the next important thing is for our legal to advise that everything is in place and the insurances are there to cover everything that we need before we make a decision.
Yeah, the insurances are good, and if you guys are interested, I have a little film location agreement with some other governments like you, that we could get them signed as well, so you got the insurance and then you got the contract. It just says, y'all are allowed to use this specific location. They agree to indemnify you for any damages they may cause. They agree to restore the property, all that. The stuff he's saying he's gonna do, we just did it, right?
Yeah.
So if you guys want to, I approve those.
Probably be a good idea.
Everything else.
Have in place is fine.
And insurance is happening.
And Rosalie made a great point, and I'm glad she said that about the removal of the frame.
Yes, sir.
But I would think if it came down to it, you say y'all checked it out, you shouldn't need to, but if it comes down to it and you had to, I think you'd want to call up here and do it for the shot and put it right back.
Right.
But like she said, don't drive off and leave it off, and then we find it.
We could do that if it came to that, but I don't foresee that happening at all. Like I said, we redesigned all of our shots and they're purposely not facing away from the covered bridge. They're facing towards the bridge. So we don't see those archways.
Any other questions on the board?
I think at this moment, we're gonna move forward with the understanding that that structure will not be moved. So if
Right.
any-
Yes, sir.
Determines that it needs to be, you're gonna have to get approval for that.
That's what
I think that it's a good way.
Yes. There's a gate to the west side that they could get in and out. We had to put that in for the power company, so they should be able to get it out in without having to disturb the barriers. So
So insurance wise, everything's good.
Yes, sir.
I make a motion that we would approve with conditions of not removing the barrier. Location agreement
Not a
provided
problem.
by staff.
Yep.
I'll second.
You have a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor? Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank y'all.
Up in Marywood.
Thank you very much.
Number 4, ambulance chassis quote.
Yes.
Yes, sir, Commissioner. If you will look up underneath your packet, we have an issue paper. As you're aware, we've been looking at ways to maintain and replace our EMS fleet. A new ambulance costs anywhere from $350,000 to $375,000. This is a complete unit with the chassis, box, cab, and all that. We have two ambulances that have about 400,000 miles on them. So public safety, came to us and said, why don't we buy an F-450 chassis with a special package to mount our ambulance boxes to. So Danny went out and got some quotes. Those quotes are in your packet. And staff is recommending the purchase of the diesel chassis, two of them from two different dealers. We've got one from Aikens, and then we've got one from Megis. And the price is about 61,000 for each for both of the chassis. And then we're going to remount the boxes with the local company here in Meriwether. And we're anticipating the mounting cost is going to be about $100,000 with boxes we currently own that are on the ambulances that we're replacing. So conceivably, we're going to be able to get a new ambulance for about $160,000, maybe a little bit more, but it's going to be a lot less than the $375,000 that we would purchase a whole new unit for. So what we're bringing to you guys today are two options, two diesel chassis and then two gasoline chassis. Public safety has recommended the diesel because of the mileage and strength and just durability. And so we just come to you for a request to purchase two diesel F-450 chassis from the appropriate vendors.
$100,000 around each box,
Yes, sir.
but we're only paying $61,000 for the chassis.
Yes, sir. And that's because of the multiple connections and components and I'm sure there's regulatory stuff in there. And that process could take up to 3 months, but it's going to vary based on when the chassis come in. That's the other thing. Neither dealership could give us a confirmed date of when the chassis is going to be in. That's the only negative to it. But these are both, well-known dealerships. Don't have any concern about paying the money and not getting it. Just wanted to make you aware that the lead time on it. No, sir, but because it is a special order, they want us to pay the full amount.
Have those boxes been remounted before? Do we know that?
I don't-
Remounted so many times.
I don't think so, but we can certainly find out.
We've looked at the boxes before and we got several that's remountable. We just have to get the
right
base
connection points.
And where did quote for the remount come from?
Is it Complete Auto and Truck Body? It's the one over off of 85, custom truck
I
body.
think remount, it can go 80 to 100,
Mhm.
depending on what you want done.
Yes, sir.
You don't want the box painted this less.
But can we get that in a physical detailed quote for what we're going to be spending? And we got quotes for checks, we got quotes for trucks.
Mhm.
We don't have a quote to explain what this $100,000 is doing.
Right. Yes, sir. And the reason that we didn't get the quote at this point is we just don't know what the time frame is going to be to get these chassis in. And even if we got a quote, if it's in 6, 9, 12 months, it's going to change. But
Remounting,
Conditional.
right, but
Yes, sir.
remounting those actually means that you have to have certain parts come in. They have to order that to be able to
Mhm.
remount and secure.
Yes, sir.
Waterproofing and things like that.
Mhm.
So until the chassis is in and they have to, people have to order the products that they need, they really won't know exactly.
chassis. The remount we're doing anyway. Some of them are in better condition, some of them will need more wiring, some lights. And one of the things that these trucks are red. And according to the sticker, and we may have to just stripe up, keep the white box, because when you start painting that red color, it just expensive. And so anyway, just a call, we get that.
And also need to look into wrapping those.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be cheaper.
The truck itself, it doesn't matter what color it is.
No.
It's the same.
Mhm.
price. That's right.
Yes, sir.
But I think on the boxes, the reason we don't have to quote on the boxes because, it depends on what you want done. So we didn't tell them we want it painted. And they're gonna put new air conditioners in.
Mhm.
Do you need a new seat? Do you need new?
Right.
Basically, you can go from A to Z, depending on what you want done.
There's multiple companies, but I don't think it would be over 100,000.
But I don't see why we
Hopefully
would
it'll be
purchase the trucks and then also prior to the work starting, be notified, told to us what the quote's gonna be.
Oh, yes, sir.
So we go back and we could identify the box of what needs to be done to get those back. This at least gets you, I mean, you may be $6 now.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta get those in before you start.
And our procurement policy does have us coming back to you for the remount. So this is just for the chassis. This is not for anything extra. It's just these specific items. Yes, sir, we do.
See, if you ordered the chassis today and you gave them the box, chassis might come in when you get the box done.
You may want to ask those dealerships also if they can locate, a lot of times they can locate them out further west.
Okay.
But the transportation fee to bring those in.
Okay.
Can be pretty significant too.
Well, time is money.
It is, but you don't want to spend another 50,000 to have a
Oh,
some thousand
Mm-mm.
chassis brought in.
Yes, sir.
What happened was with the strike going on, with all the workers, they wasn't.
Oh.
But for some reason, you can find trucks in California, and you can't
Well,
buy them.
I tried to get, maybe to get one, and they couldn't find one nowhere. So I called them back and said, I can get this truck, now they started back making.
Well, maybe, Mr. Craig Hill said if they can locate one somewhere, we'll just fly a couple. of
Yes, sir.
employees out there to drive them back.
Mhm.
We'll save it.
That would be an option if it's available. Yes, sir.
No, okay.
I think we need to go ahead and order.
Well, you want to
And-
order these two? Or
it-
you want to approve funds to order up to a dollar amount?
So, but
I make a motion, we order 2 chassis for these specific, may go forward. 'Cause they got
So-
issues in this county.
Commissioner, one of the things that we had discussed with among staff is if we order one from each, we're hoping that we'll get them, at least one of them a little bit sooner rather than having two from one, because we were afraid that they wouldn't ship the first one until the second one was ready, delaying both of them. They don't do that.
When they're
Okay.
ready, they're gonna send them.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
Okay.
think it matters. I make a motion, we 2 from legal forward. 2 chassis, F-450.
Aren't these two different quotes that we?
So actually you have 4 quotes. One diesel from Aiken, one gas from Aiken, one diesel from Meagle, and one gas from Meagle. So the quote that Commissioner Collins just said would give us
We could discount the gas.
61,447 is that sale price.
Get the gas, I think.
Yeah, correct. Hold on, nope, I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Just don't want to get the use out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me make a correction, commissioners. Meagle Ford is 60747 and 10 cents. That is the first quote in your packet that is before you. The one that looks like this.
6,747.
Yes, sir.
60,000.
Yeah, 60.
Yes, sir. No, ma'am, we won't. We'll do the tax exempt form. If it pleases the commission, we'd love a motion.
Now, here's the difference in these two. Meagle actually has cloth seats and Aiken has the vinyl 40-20-40.
Yeah, you're gonna want the vinyl seat.
That's the vinyl off, the cloth off, it'll save you a little more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can make that
I think
change.
they got the,
You got $100.
I think Meagle's MSR is 67,035 and Aiken's is 66,120. So it's the MSRP from Meagle is actually what, $700, $800 more.
Well, you're definitely not wanting cloth seats or sanitized and. And
Right.
Have a
Yeah.
bad call, you just don't want it on cloth seats.
No, we can change that. Yes,
Cloth
sir.
seats are $100 up.
No.
Yeah, we can fix it.
We got a motion on the floor from Commissioner Collins, to, streamline that back into this motion.
I make a motion to purchase two F-450 diesel chassis from Maple Ford.
We'll remove the cloth seat.
Yeah.
Do they think they can get to? That's my only concern since we got,
I would imagine so, but I can't 100% say yes or they can because
a lot of times with dealerships, they are only allocated X number of certain level vehicles per year based
Yes, sir.
on the amount that dealership sells. So that would be one of my only concerns is if this is something that is a special product and is this particular dealership allocated by Ford Motor Company to be able to receive those. And that is a big major issue. I mean, that is something that they are able to.
Yes, sir. I think the allocation, and I did not include it in my reasoning earlier, but the allocation part was one of the reasons we were looking at one of each, but
Just need to confirm.
we just need to confirm it.
that they can, but
Cloth
if it
seats
is
and then the
not, we
allocation.
go to the next deal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem as long as they can, because I do know that Ford does put stipulations on the amount that they put out per year on certain level vehicles.
So could not Commissioner Collins, change his motion, add to his motion to purchase both from Maple Ford, but if necessary, if they can't get to them, go ahead and have approval to reach out to another dealer, but still the same dollar amount.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
And then that way we don't have to come back and go, well, you said Beagle, so we just.
Right.
And we could contact Eagle to have them verify they can get two, or if they go and get one, we'll go over to the other deal.
Where is Meagle located?
Eagle, where's it located?
Up North Georgia. Okay. The reason I did that, because Maple owns land in the county. They got interest in this county.
Right, so this motion he's got has nothing to do with the box installation.
Correct, yes, that
Come back and do that.
Yes, sir. We'll come back before the commission to do that.
Amount of dollars instead of just open.
Yes, sir.
So.
Yeah.
Can we just add that to his motion?
We want that, but
The motion is.
I think y'all probably need to restate the motion
Okay.
and then have a second.
I make a motion to purchase two trucks from Maple Ford F-450 diesel. Unless they're able to get both of them. If not, we'll order one from Aikens Ford.
Vinyl seats
Cloth seats. Vinyl seats.
and the quoting package for box install that comes separate.
Come separately.
I second that.
All right, so we got a motion from Commissioner Collins to move forward with this purchase and a second by Commissioner Worsley, and all in favor.
Thank y'all.
Get that to do.
I did.
Thank you, Doctor. Very good.
Good job.
All right. That's good deal. Number 5, got on here, quote for right to build with. There,
That's well, I asked for that to be put on. It was a cheap option in the big conversations. It's in Mr. Threadgill's district. It's on the list. And it was cheap enough in my mind that it was something we could go ahead and do and get done, even though it wasn't in on the big project. So I requested to be put back on for them to go out quote to get that done. And that's what the board would like to do.
It was an option in the league. It was just not voted on.
Well, let me rephrase that. It was not an approved option for the limit.
My recommendation would be, would call it big or not, to include it in that bid package. Because if you put it in with a lot more roads, you're gonna get a much better price than if it's scheduled on. So, you know, when we do the cities that way, when we do the big package, we call it the big, but it's really just a construction package, including the big funding. And we pick up city streets too, sometimes if they want to be included, because it's a whole lot cheaper to put them in with all ours. And so with this, if the board wants to move forward, I would just recommend, I think it's about $89,000 was our estimate.
87 on that.
87. And
It only goes from what bridge to the 85.
So what about the green to Manchester go through that?
That's up to them and their part, but I will talk to them if we do this, but it could be if we do it separately up to $100,000, we have to come back and do a separate road. That's like Mr. Gay said.
I was gonna say that part, but it's, they're gonna quote, coming to the Hoopsville Road, north end of the county. And 30 miles south, do 1 mile of road. They're not gonna charge us to move all their equipment to 35.
Well, they'll charge you with some of the equipment. They won't need everything. They'll need it. Looks road is specialized equipment, but you get to put your asphalt prices in and everything in with a huge project, $1.5 million project, as opposed to a small project, which they would have to fill out separately. If, so it just makes a lot more sense. And I was going to say, if the city wants to do their portion of that road at the same time, we'd be happy to include that into our bid package and it could be seamless. And that way, whoever starts with our section could also just continue right on in the city. We could split the cost up and that'd probably save the city some money too.
And when we come up with other roads that need to be done, if there's any in the southern part, this one can be tucked in there and be done. So they're not having to go from the north all the way down to the south.
I'll make a motion to include it in the Lemig quote so that we can get the better price.
I'll second.
Good. Motion the second. All in favor to add it in there? Didn't pass on a lack of vote. Opposed? So can it be, a motion be still, as he brought in here, a motion to still do it without adding it to the meeting?
Yeah, if you guys want a separate quote for it, we could do that. Again, it's going to cost you more money. And Lemig is just a mechanism of funding. Understand that it's not actually just a Lemig. We call it Lemig, but you could add other projects to it because Lemig is only $800,000. So the rest of it's going to be county funds. My only point is we could bid it separate, do whatever you guys want to do, but you'll get a better price if you put it in with the bigger, bigger job. But it does not matter to us. We'll do it either way the board wants to do it. I'm just feel like I need to advise y'all that
The
you.
only thing to be saving is the moving costs.
No, you'll be
saving a lot more than that.
The potential of asphalt cost. too.
Material
Because
cost.
it's, this much asphalt, and then I got and you might even have a separate bidder. Get this.
But we haven't got the bids accepted out yet and accepted contractor yet.
Right, no,
This is the
we're.
beginning of the process.
I know we haven't had a signed to a contractor yet.
No, we haven't even bid it yet. We just got it into the state. We've been lucky to put it together and bid it.
I still want to go on record and make this statement now. I know that with 3 you really don't understand the process. But this is a process that each year that we do, and we normally would have these in place in November. And each commissioner would submit their roads that they have, that there's enough concerns about, that we would actually have input into what roads are going to be addressed. And you rely very heavily on your staff because I'm not riding these roads on a daily basis to know the condition that they're in. With that being said, to me, it's very disrespectful to me as a commissioner that my road is not being considered. And the fact that this has come up, I want to caution the new ones and all going forward. How are we going to address these roads? You've got one road that's got the 100% allocation on Lemig. And while it may be needed, you've got other roads that are also of concern. And this county is a very large county. And unless you're willing to work together to get things done and rely on your staff to do this, in the recommendation that we move forward, I don't understand it. And I want to know, Commissioner Wordsworth, what is your reason for not voting to have it on the Lemig list?
I'll be happy to explain it whenever you're finished.
I'm waiting.
I don't want to interrupt you.
I'm
Okay.
waiting.
It's very simple that we met in a work session and agreed in principle that we would close out projects and focus out on the largest safety projects for the county. Citizens' risk on the roads. I have a road package here that gives me the grade of every road in the county, from the worst to the best. Wrightsville Road doesn't appear on 5 pages worth of paper. I'm not going to support LMIG state funding, which is a benefit and asset to our county to relieve our citizens of a tax burden. To pave a road, it doesn't even show up as a part of our county's staff recommendations. So that's why I oppose it. I think we need to finish projects that we started. This Luthersville project's been going on for 5 to 6 years now. This will be the 6th year, I think it is. Might be wrong, maybe staff can correct that. We need to finish it. It's the highest traffic road in this county by double.
Okay,
Okay,
That's
so
the reason.
okay.
let me look at that, yes, ma'am. For you to say, we don't understand how it goes. And to credit Mr. Worsley here, he's the one that asked for it to be put on there today to vote, to get it done. He just doesn't want to go back to where we had a work session. And not everyone attended a work session. And then we had opportunity to discuss it on December 26th as an open board to add this, change this, move this, have it all worked out at that time. The final results was a 4-1 vote on that. You didn't mention anything that night about why don't we add right road to it. You supported the vote. You was one of the 4. So what we're saying is, or what Mr. Worsley's saying is, we'll go back and fix that road, but he doesn't want to change the vote that we did then, that Commissioner Collins asked if we could move it, hold it till January, discuss it further, to work all this out. We were told that we cannot, it needs to be done before the end of the year. Okay, so the motion from the staff, like you said, recommended 3 options: option 1, option 2, and option 3. So when they said that something has to be done tonight, Commissioner Worsley made a motion to go ahead and move with option 1 that took in Luthersville Road that's been being worked on for 4 years to complete that road, because folks in this county see things started but not completed, started and not completed. So I guess his mindset, and I agree with it, is we made a motion, we passed it, and don't want to go back and change something when that was supposed to have been signed off for December 31st.
Let me add to that, I'm sorry, that I didn't mention that. Thank you, Commissioner King, but we were directed by staff on that day, December 26th, that this had to be done now, time sensitive. As of today, at 9:47, January the 10th, is that today? I don't know. It's not been signed and submitted. So we were misled as a board.
Well, we as staff did not mislead you guys. We
Okay,
actually.
statement that was made. I didn't mean to be
Yeah.
critical, but I'm saying, but the information that I had was that it had to be done, and in my statement, my motion said, well, if it has to be done today,
Understand.
then I go with option 1. Because that's
It
the
does.
staff recommends, staff told us, it needs to be done now, it needs to be done as urgent.
Yeah.
So for me, my information, that was misleading to me, not being critical or character attack.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that we
But that's
did
the
these.
information I had.
And see, there's work that goes in after you guys approve it that we have to do. We've got all of it. All we're waiting on is a signature. Everything else is done. We were waiting on the signature
From who?
from the chairman. Waiting on the signature from chairman. And they just ready to submit. Now, my issue on this is not changing your, we'll do whatever y'all will do, but not changing your vote from December 26th. My only issue is if you guys want to pay this road, you call it big, or you call it quotes, you call it whatever, it'd be cheaper to put it into that construction contract. That's my only issue.
I agree with that, for the cost wise to the city, so I don't want to go say 2 things. Say I'm trying to save money and then not.
Right.
There's a deeper explanation I believe we can cover in the executive session as to why. But a deep root, it was a peacemaking offer to get it back on the agenda today. But in reality, based on some commissioners traveling the road and it's not on this worksheet, it doesn't need to be done at this time.
But since the meeting, then we had to decide on the December 26th meeting. But we can add other stuff into that meeting, correct?
Yeah, you could add anything you want to with
but
that.
Right now, this here says quotes for Wrightsville Road. Can we not make a motion to get a quote to have that road fixed and see how it come back? and
Yeah.
still add it to me or get it fixed if it's not as expensive as everybody.
What you
thinks
could
it's gonna
do is this, you could put it, when we put together that construction contract, I'm gonna not call it the big, because it's just gonna have the big footing. We could put in alternate one would be Wrightsville Road. And they will quote it, while it'll be part of the overall package, they'll quote it, they'll give you a separate price, so they'll cost us. They'll quote it, give you a separate price of it. So at that time, you could choose to include it, or you could choose to take it out.
Well, see, I thought the motion here today would be to get a quote for Wrightsville Road.
Yeah, I think
Not
that's,
to add it to it. So I personally will make a motion right now to get quotes in to do the upgrade repairs to Wrightsville Road.
and you're gonna get, understand, you'll get a freestanding quote on that. You
That's
won't-
fine.
You won't have, okay.
That's fine, then we can still,
Now, understand that's gonna require somewhat, and we'll do whatever, it's gonna require somewhat of a bid package to put this together, just like the other, it'll,
Okay.
you gotta go through the same procedure, so.
it had already,
We
it had already been quoted.
we estimated based upon previous quotes, and it was like 87.
That's what, yeah.
So it's gonna come in somewhere in that range.
And that was several years ago too.
Yeah, it's gonna be somewhere close to that number, depending on what asphalt does and whatever. And, whatever y'all want to do with it, I mean, my recommendation would be, if you still want to look at the price before you approve it, what I would do is put it on as I did, option one. And, you put your package together and you have an alternate one, which would include Wrightsville Road. And if you wanted to add it, you could.
And
If
that
you
would be
look at it
voted on?
and say, yes, and if you look at it and say, hey, I don't want to have that one in there, you take it off. That would. But we'll do it however you guys will do. it. We'll go out and get an individual quote on it. However you guys will do it.
so it'd be good to put it in there as option one and we can re-vote on it at
Yeah.
the time.
I mean, that's what I'd recommend. Just add it as an alternate. And what we'll have is the regular, the big, everything you guys have approved so far, have a quote on that. We'll have alternate one, which will be that. If the city wants to come back and say, well, we'd like to consider doing our part of it, but we're not sure yet, we can have alternate two to do that. And then everybody can accept whatever they want.
Accept it at that time.
Yes,
I'll make a motion to put it in there as alternate one,
listed as alternate, okay.
but not necessarily put in as it's a done deal.
Yeah, it'd be an
I'll
option.
make a motion for it to be listed there as alternate one.
Okay.
We don't have a second. So with Bell, we'll move on to number 6, discussion of emergency declaration.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring this up. We had yesterday, we had a lot of rain. We were just kind of playing that to see how it's going to work out. Sometimes we've had, luckily we didn't have a whole lot of problems yesterday, but there's times in the past we have. We actually had a emergency declaration that I'm not sure we ever really relinquished or did away with from the last storm. And so considering that we're in a period where, nowadays you could have to have another emergency declaration, what I'd like to do is just be sure that the board takes action to maybe close out any current emergency declarations, and that way it opens the door for us to be able to add them in the future if we needed to. And what that is once you get into emergency declaration, you can waive a lot of your bid processes and whatever. If you have to have some material quickly or whatever, you can just go to a direct source. There's also laws in place that keeps the vendors from gouging you with prices at that time too. So I just want to be sure we had cleared the old ones that we had, just in case we had another problem. It really came up as part of the bid rate.
Have a current emergency declaration?
We had one, and I just don't know whether we ever relinquished it or not. So my request would be just to relinquish it, and then we'll add a new one once if we need it. We just need it.
In one of our classes this past year, there was a heavy subject.
Yes,
They went over with us how important that is for everything, like you just said.
absolutely.
Have it in place so we can take quick action.
And see, we're still, we're kind of the tail end of getting the dollars and all, from the previous one. So no more issue for us to be able to have to purchase things. So
So we need to have someone put in a motion to close out any emergency declaration we have at this time, and then we're gonna come back and present a new one.
well, what we'll do, we'll come back and present a new one in the event we need one.
Okay.
In the event that
There's
something.
gotta be an emergency before you
Yeah.
declare.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta decide, I mean,
What is an
just
emergency?
because it's an emergency, you guys may not think it's an
That's right,
emergency.
yeah.
So that's why it's gotta be brought.
It's for the citizens.
Yeah. Right.
How are you guys think?
So we need a motion then just to close out any emergency declaration we have at this time. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to close out the emergency.
We have a motion by, all right, so I have a second. Second by Mr. Kyle, all in favor? Thanks for bringing that.
Yeah, I just, like I say, we just thought about it when we were dealing
How
with
long
the,
will it take to have a new one?
meeting. Oh, you guys have call meeting.
So say if there was like, the way it normally works, is
Schedule.
knock on wood, it's not a lot, but like the tornado comes. through.
Right.
And, you know, your staff, usually by the time you woke up, is gonna have a list of things that needs to be done, and they'll just ask you guys for a qual meeting, and it'll take 2 minutes to approve.
And I think you could even maybe waive some of the 24
You
hour.
can, you could wait the 24 hour, I mean, like they did it in Noonan in Coweta when the tornado hit a couple of years ago, just because you don't have time to get, I mean, you gotta get people on the road.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of times you gotta bring in outside forces to help you, so.
All right, good deal. So we understand that. We'll move right on.
Okay.
Work session coming up. Report from the county administrator, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, since the last meeting, just a few things. We've assisted, the city of Greenville at their request with their big, paperwork. I met with 2 different departments on the staffing. Met, about recreation. Had a, conference call meeting with the Board of Elections, met with the City of Hogansville and Water and Sewer Authority, met on some industrial park projects, had a meeting on an insurance issue that I'll talk to you guys about a little bit more. Had an IDA meeting, and of course, we worked with staff on the work session items that they've got coming forward today. And just regular day-to-day stuff. So that's what I have.
Thank you. Lou?
Yes, sir. To echo, Mr. Gay, met with the, Industrial Development Authority, helping Ms. Jane with a couple of projects. We do have some good news on the KBCIS driveway. We're thinking we're finally making some headway with AT&T. Had a conversation with the, project manager for that, and they're going to be getting out there very soon. If it hadn't been raining yesterday, we might have already jumped on it, but we're hoping to see motion and movement there soon. We have also followed up on the fuel tanks in Manchester, the process of removing those at the fuel farm. As he said, work on personnel. And then one of the grants, I'm about probably 65% done. I should have it closer to 85% in the next week or so, and then bring it to you guys for review and approval. This is a larger, grant for road construction, converting, paving new, repairing culverts and gravel.
You said it should be done by the next meeting?
Next 2 weeks.
Next 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
Thirteen.
2 weeks.
Yeah, about, it'll be close. But at any point, if you guys want to read what I've got, and you can not get too concerned with the typos and whatnot, because it's a first draft, I'll be more than happy to give you a copy of it, but it just won't be complete and it's really chopped up.
Any board members for Mr. Booth? None, we'll move right on to the report.
Thank
from the
you.
County commissioners. Mr. Collins?
I just like to thank staff for all that they do, and we're finally getting some work done on the dirt roads. Getting some calls about that. Still got more to do. That's all I have.
What about the one here?
No, we had to meet last night. We're gonna mainly nothing, just gonna add a few picnic tables. Ronnie Bird's agreed to build if we furnish them up.
And what about the, storage building? Got that in?
We got the site picked out, but we hadn't done any work on it yet.
Okay. And, I know those funds were committed last year, carrying over. Will they carry on?
They will, yeah, yes, ma'am. I think it was March or so, they, we could carry those. This wasn't a lot of money, so we could carry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really don't have anything. I'll just have a couple of questions on that. So.
You good?
I do.
Mr. Worthing?
And like everyone else, I'd like to thank the staff for what they do. I'll add to that with some of the recent comments, the last several meetings come out, is a lot of the questions that from my perspective that I ask, or challenges to issues or questions, are driven by the citizens that I represent. They're asking me questions. They're asking for things to be done and why things are not done, and what are we doing, what can we do, what are the options. They understand that we're a small rural county that doesn't have the funding that the surrounding counties have. But most of what the issues are not personal preferences for me. It's what they ask and have questions about and want. Some of it is mixed with my experience in life and business and some common sense and some not understanding and asking questions so I can get a better understanding. So it's not personal to the staff, not personal to the board. And it's not intended to make work or make extra work for the staff or the board. It's trying to get the answers to the questions that I get from the constituents in District 5 and to help move the county forward. I hate that gets perceived as being conflict, so whatever, however you want to say it, whatever it is that the people are thinking of saying, but I don't get that from District 5. So, and that's what the main concern is initially. So if I do or say anything that makes anyone feel that way, I apologize. That's not my intent. I do know who I am and what I am, and facial expressions are what they are. I got them from my mother, who got them from her mother. We look like we're mad all the time. Even when I'm having the best day of my life, I look like I'm mad. Nothing I can do about it. I've tried. Leading people in business and in sports and things, it's been a challenge. So I apologize if anytime when I do that, that's what it appears. It's not my intent. I wouldn't hurt anything or anybody unless I had to, and hope I never have to. So, but I do think what everyone is doing, we're doing a good job. Like I said, things need to be faster. That's an echo from the district. And it is a personal thing of mine. I don't think to move at a fast pace, but that's just what it is. So I do thank y'all. Apologize if in any way it makes you feel uncomfortable or whatever. That was not the intent at all, ever. So thank you.
Thank you. On my behalf here, I hope everybody brought in the new year and excited about 2024. I'd like to reach out and thank the EMS and 911 yesterday. They had to go out here to Big Lake Road, and post lady out there crossed over the bridge and got stuck, and the water started rising. So we had to call on what's it, Upson County? Yeah. Upson County. I want to thank them too for setting up their blue life raft and their team to wade out there and get her out of the water. So
is that the picture that's circulating around everywhere?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I was right over the top of some of the county guys on another dirt road, Lily Patrick, with a drainage problem. They said, we got to go. We got to take you stranded. So I didn't bother going over. They had it under control. I want to thank their efforts and everything they did. I'm glad the lady's all right. I look forward to 2024. I'm honored to serve as mayor of the county as chairman. I'll give you 110% and everything come from my heart and my mind for the best interest of the whole county, not just my district. So I'm thankful for that. And that's all I've got to say. Anything from county attorney?
Mr. Chairman, I have nothing to report.
Thank you. We have any reason for executive session today, sir? We do.
We do, yes.
Executive session is for litigation, personnel, real estate, and tax matters. So the future meetings and notice of January 10th work session will be today at 11 o'clock. We're closed on January 15th, 2024, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. January 23rd will be our next regular meeting at 6 o'clock, and then it goes on February 14th at 9 o'clock. February the 19th will be closed President's Day. And February 27th will be our regular meeting at 6 o'clock. If we have nothing else to discuss, we'll have a motion to go into executive session.
So move.
Motion second,
Second.
second by Mr. Collins, all in favor? We're in executive session. Second. All in favor? Aye. We are now back into regular session. There was no action taken in executive session. So if there's nothing else to discuss or move forward on, I need a motion to adjourn the regular meeting. Got a motion?
Second.
Second, all in favor? We are adjourned.